But first, he's here, he's live, he's fantastic. He's Michael Crawford.
Good
It's
morning.
lovely to see you.
Hello.
First of all, we've got to have a look at you of the way we're always going to remember you, I'm afraid.
Hearing is believing, music is deceiving, hard as lightning, soft as candlelight. Dare you trust the music of the night? Hi.
Mr.
Welcome.
Michael Crawford.
Got a little better colour now.
Are there things about watching Phantom, and that was 5.5 years of your life, and it was the thing, I guess, that made you even more of a superstar, if you can go into that bracket. Are there things about it that were moments when you knew this is my defining moment? Or was it not for you?
Oh my gosh! I mean, the biggest point really up to then had been the fact that some mothers had worked, and we had recognition, making people laugh.
Absolutely.
And then through the years, you get to a point where you want to change direction, unless you stay in that direction all the time.
It was only 18 episodes of that as well, which was
Yes.
testament to how it's stuck in everybody's minds.
So what I'm so chuffed about is that they actually still show them now. So 27 years later, it was 27 years ago we made them.
Joking.
And that they still show them, and so different generations still laugh at them. But I mean, I was inspired by the generations before, watching Laurel and Hardy and Buster Keaton, so I mean, that's what I grew up with, and I still sit and watch them and laugh. So if people can watch and laugh 27 years later, I'm very pleased.
It's a bit like Fawlty Towers, and classic comedy is timeless, I suppose.
Yes.
Isn't it? It just makes people laugh.
Oh yes, I mean, during that time we were in the middle of the two Ronnies, Eric and Ernie, the Likely Lads, The Good Life. There was some amazing series around. Step Turn Son had just finished.
Yeah.
So it was a sort of golden time of comedy.
Definitely. And we'd all sit down and watch, wouldn't we? With television was an
Yes.
event every evening.
Oh yes, it was.
Yeah.
But then Phantom changed my life in another way by giving me a different turn.
Exactly.
That I was able to go in a dramatic direction, and I suppose having the mask and the, as you saw, and that makeup and the cape, it didn't give away that it was Michael. So you used a voice that had never been heard before, and gave me, opened all sorts of doors.
Well, it gave you one of those rare things that British performers don't always have. I mean, American stars do. They have that all-round thing. They accept that someone can sing, dance, play comedy, play drama, do stand-up, present a television show. Whereas here we kind of box you,
Compartmentalise,
don't they?
yeah, yeah.
But you were one of the few British performers who showed you could do the whole lot.
Sort of show off. No, there are a lot
mean
of there are many performers who can and have done most areas, but they've got to be very disciplined themselves as well, not to be led on where the success may take them. So as they say, if I'd continued with some others, I could have stayed there, and that could have been a very wise choice.
Because you turned down films and everything about that, didn't you? And doing it in American stuff.
Yes, I didn't want to do it in America, and I could see, because here they allowed you to do. I mean, Fawlty Towers did what, 12 shows, 14 shows?
12, yeah.
We did 18, but they're well remembered. But in America, you'd have to go on for 3 years or 4 years if it worked. But they have all the options, so I didn't really want that control over what we did, because you can't be funny that long and that much every week.
When you get back to Phantom, when you were given the opportunity to play him, you know, Michael, we want you to wear the mask, and here's the music, and it's Andrew Lloyd Webber. Your thoughts then, and when did you realise that this is just it's going to take over everything, and it's going to be massive?
Well, Andrew had heard me accidentally at a singing class. I was singing some Italian aria, because my teacher always made me sing very classical music, and I never sang that outside the room.
Right.
Mainly because there's a law against it, and the neighbours wouldn't allow it. So Sarah Brightman, who he was then married to, arrived early one day. They came in the front door, went downstairs, listening to me practising. They didn't know who it was. I left. Cats were jumping out of windows and screaming up the street. And he comes in, he said Andrew says to my singing teacher, "Who was that? Who was that singing?" He said, "Oh, I'm sorry about that, sir. You know, he's usually much better than that." And he said, No. Who was it?" He said, "It was Michael Crawford, sir." So he said, "I think we may have found our Phantom."
You're joking. singing. Is that how
So
you got
it was, he
Fluke.
didn't see my face, and so therefore he didn't have this thing of,
Yes, the Frank
Frank
Spencer.
Spencer, yeah.
so he heard a voice, and that was going to suit the part. And
It's
that's why-
interesting reading about you that you are very lovable, and part of your appeal is that you're not only very talented, but you seem very unspoiled and very normal and very still man next door, I feel, even though you're a superstar, millionaire, whatever.
And Andy drinks your coffee.
And he drinks the
And he drinks the
coffee.
coffee.
And yet there must be something in you that's real steel, because you have great focus. You ran a mile in 4 minutes 20 seconds or something, didn't you, for
Yeah.
Michael Winner?
Yeah.
You learned how to tightrope
You would
walk.
if Michael Winner was chasing you.
You have taught yourself to sing better than probably you ever even hoped. You're a very focused man, is that correct?
I think I grew up, had a pretty sort of rigid and hard life as a child.
You had a horrendous life as a child.
So there was that you had to go past that. I was always taught, pick yourself up, brush yourself off and start all over again. So you become focused. You stay focused on what you're going to do. And I know that I'm only as good as the last thing I did. I mean, I'm going to sing for you
Yes,
soon. But
please.
I was so nervous practicing this morning because you're going to make mistakes. I mean, it's early in the morning, your voice isn't so... I don't know about superstars and things. I think we're all people. We're all inspired by each other. It's always exciting to see people become successful. I like it. I like to have a good team around me. There's a good feeling in this studio. Every time I come and do this show, there's a nice feeling around because people are decent to each other. So that makes a good show.
Well, you're here because you've just released a new album of Disney songs, which is an unusual choice, is it?
Well, yes, it came out of nowhere. I'd done a duet with Barbara Streisand a few years back, and the producer of that album, David Foster and Jay Landers. And Jay Landers is the head of Disney Music now, and they're going to do some theatrical recordings of their music. So they gave me 350 songs to choose from.
Oh.
And I went back, just for one, I went backwards to Dumbo, which was made in 1941, and I saw when I was about a few years later, when I was about 8, and it was a great film, great experience. So I've chosen one song from that, Baby Mine, which is a beautiful lullaby, which you'll love for Winnie. It's perfect for your little Winnie.
Bless you.
And
You've been all emotional all morning, haven't you?
Oh, well, I was hearing Michael rehearse earlier, and I had tears in my eyes.
Yeah.
The song you're going to sing for us
I
at
thought
the
it
end
was
of the
that
show.
bad. You've got it to come in a minute, I'll tell you.
Cry with a talent
The end of
on
my
forever.
career.
It was so emotional. Anyway, that's beside the point.
It's a beautiful song, yeah. So the rest I chose from more contemporary music of the last
Lion
10
King,
years.
etc.
Lion King, yes, Tarzan, Pocahontas,
Disney's
by
brilliant, aren't
by
they?
writers like Elton John,
Yeah.
Phil Collins, Randy Newman. They're really wonderful.
Let's
writers.
have a look at Baby Mine. This is actually on the DVD of Dumbo.
Yes,
which
they
is
put our
so the
version on there.
performance. So let's have a look, peek at that.
Baby mine, don't you cry. Baby mine, dry your eyes. Rest your head close to my heart, never to part, baby of mine.
Oh, beautiful. We were just talking there about you haven't...
I was the one with the small ears.
It is amazing, and it's truly great that you're going to be singing for us later. Which one are you going to be from the album, which we have here?
Your Heart Will Lead You Home.
And it's from Tigger.
It's from Tigger.
It's from
Written
Tigger.
by
You won't
Kenny
believe
Loggins.
this emotional song. I mean, well, anyway, wait till you hear it.
You
and
contain yourself.
I will. He's in very good voice this morning. So Michael Crawford, the Disney album, is that?
We must ask you just before you go, if you can. We've got a phone in later with Raj, and he is... Yes, he's appeared. He does that to people.
Morning, Raj.
Actually, that's quite topical, because we're going to ask what annoys you. Well, psychiatrists sneaking
people
up
like
behind
that coming in behind me like that.
Psychiatrist sneaking up on you.
Yes, yes.
you. Could we ask, what does annoy you after, all this time? What still gets on your nerves?
Is this serious or frivolous?
Yeah.
I knew I used to drive in the centre lane a great deal on the motorway, you know. And but there are limits to what a Reliant Robin can do. So in the end, when I slowly started to move over to the inside lane, and now I can't stand it when people
Sit in the middle lane.
sit in the middle lane at 50 miles an hour. I mean, I know that's the speed limit, but
It's irritating.
yeah, yeah, it is.
Is it different, the American driving to the British driving? Do you get
Well-
easier time over there?
No, in America you can overtake on the inside and the outside of a freeway, and I'm not
Right.
sure they have many more accidents, but it does stop that frustration.
You've got a few driving things. haven't you?
Well, what I hate was when you come to the lights and there's a feeder lane that you can't turn right or go straight on at. And if somebody's sitting there
Yes.
without putting the indicator on,
Yes.
Oh, and you
you
think
line
you're
up
going
behind
straight
them.
on.
Yeah.
And then-
How many times does the lights go to green and then it go tick tock,
Yeah,
tick tock,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
you're stuck behind it and it's like, that
Yeah.
gets me driving.
Yeah,
What about
yeah.
you?
People who don't acknowledge a kindness on the road, if you've just let them through, and you're going, you know, and they go, well, they look straight ahead of you, and you think, where's manners gone? That annoys me. What about you, Raj? What annoys you?
Well, being a psychiatrist, I'm totally centred, so
Yeah, right.
not many things annoy me. But I'm really interested in when you ask the question, what really annoys you, how long it takes people to answer. And I was asking Michael this before we came on, and he actually took quite a long time to answer, which suggests to me, you know, he's a pretty unruffled guy. Not many things really irritate him, I think.
So the longer it takes, the less ruffled you are. Why is that
How
then?
are we?
Well, you guys came up with something straight away, which obviously means that you're very irritable people.
I
Thank
hope all
you.
my friends are watching this.
Right, that's it then. So what really drives you up the wall? Monday
Particularly
morning
unusual
is
things. Particularly unusual things.
unusual things,
Not
yes.
necessarily in the car either.
Monday
Could be
morning is
anything.
a good day. People who keep talking when I'm trying to discuss things. Monday morning is a good day to get this
put up
off your
with.
chest, right? Raj is here to soak up your aggression because we seem to be getting to be more and more aggressive these days. And it could be anything. It could be packets of cereals left out on the side, guns around the ketchup bottle. You know, tell us.
Getting up in the dark, anything. That's the phone in. It's this morning. Call us on 0870 1101 101 and tell us what annoys you. And we'll be listening to your grievances at about 11:40. Well, 2 weeks ago, Russell Watson asked for our help. He wanted to find a children's choir to sing. No, it's not Raj Basso, it's Michael Crawford, thankfully. And that's right from the Disney album, Your Heart Will Lead You Home, accompanied by the Red Hill Kids Choir.
Sunny days and starry nights, lazy afternoons. You're counting castles in the clouds and humming little tunes. But somehow right before your eyes the summer fades away. Everything is different and everything has changed. If you feel lost and on your own and far from home, you're never alone, you know. Just think of your friends, the ones who care. They all will be waiting there with love to share, and your heart will lead you home. Funny how a photograph can take you back in time to places and embraces that you thought you'd left behind. They're trying to remind you that you're not the only one, that no one is an island when all is said and done. If you feel lost and on your own and far from home, you're never alone, you know. Just think of your friends, the ones who care. They all will be waiting there with love to share,
lovely song.
Awesome. You okay?
Wonderful. The
You
wonderful
okay?
Michael Crawford.